Today I'm joined by Steve and Leslie. Thank you for having me in your beautiful home in Middletown, Rhode Island. I had the opportunity and the pleasure of helping them purchase this house, about a year ago, a little over a year ago now?
Year and a half.
About a year and a half ago now. They've done some incredible work to it. I love being back here and seeing all the things that you've done. We talked about doing originally and seeing it come to life, so great work on that, guys. It's looking beautiful. We actually met by way of referral from Matt Mahoney of Boston Connect Real Estate. Shout out to you, Matt. Thank you. But we met without actually knowing each other. So you guys came looking into a new market, never had met me before. We got started looking at some properties. So what was that process like first, looking in a new market and working with a realtor that you had never met before? What were some of your initial concerns or fears about that?
Well, I think first came to mind was it's completely new to us, so we weren't quite sure how much we would like it. We have had some experience down in the Newport area as kids, renting and just having fun. But deciding to live down here was exciting, but we weren't quite sure how it was going to go.
Right, and we didn't know, we knew downtown Newport, but we didn't know some of the areas a little bit outside. And so it was great to actually have you introduce us to these places, and that's sort of where we landed, was just outside of direct downtown.
So really understanding areas that you'd be comfortable in outside of just what you knew.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah. And once we started to get to know each other, once we went on a few showings, made some offers, things like that, how were some of those fears and just that relationship working with me kind of made things easier for you in your search?
Yeah, well, so it was really clear you knew your stuff, right? And so you showed up at the first, I think, we drove around for a little bit, and you had a full agenda for us with, everything organized. And we went through it. You were very thoughtful about the properties that you had chosen. You were clearly very comfortable and knowledgeable about all the different areas.
Definitely.
And also you had read us fairly well and understood sort of what might work for us and what might not work. And you were able to adapt that really easily as we gave you feedback.
Yeah. Your feedback is everything, and especially the initial consultations, because we didn't know each other yet.
Right.
We really had to understand each other's needs.
Right.
And it took a little while of seeing some things and being like, this didn't work for this reason, this one worked for that one. I think back on that property on Bellevue where I actually met some of your friends. Yeah. And, we were excited about it for a little while, but at the end, it didn't really meet all your goals. Right. You thought, more of that single family or a multi-family that could have some investment down the road for you might be a better option. So yeah, that feedback and really trying to act as an advisor, listen to you guys and give you guidance to make that happen and come to fruition for you is all based on that back and forth of listening.
That's right.
So that's definitely what I tried to do. And I do remember that initial conversation. I think we had our initial consultation, we had like 4 showings.
Yeah.
And they were all time stamped. And we're like, we're going here, this is how much travel time, this is the next one. And I think I can remember you guys being really happy that we got it locked on in that initial first set of group of showings.
I mean, Boston isn't super far away, but when we came down, it was a day. It's not a bad place to spend a day, but we had to really make it count.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that was, I think that really did make an impression.
And I think what you touched on there too is like we just really respect experts in their own space.
Yes.
And that's what we were looking for.
Right.
And we found that in you. So.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much. So now that you're here in this house and you're in the Aquinic Island community, what do you like and best about it?
Everything.
Yeah, it's great.
And so we bought this as an investment property at that time. As you know, we still had the house just outside of Boston. And things were changing. Aiden, our son, was off to school, and we were in between. I was changing careers and figuring out what was next. And we ended up coming down here, sort of working on the renovations, and finding we loved it so much that as we sold our place in Milton, we just said, oh, okay, let's just spend a little more time down here, and a little more time, and a little more time. And we started doing more renovations, and sort of just made it our own. So we've been here, unexpectedly for the last year and a half between the 2 units.
You've done such a nice job.
Thank you.
Yeah, completely.
Thank you. But and we love our neighbors. Everyone's so friendly. We really like to be part of the community.
Yeah.
And it was something I had done so much traveling in my career that it was something I was really looking for, was to find a place to sort of get to know people, and everyone's so friendly, and the food is amazing here.
Yeah.
And it's just everything's been great.
Well, I'm really happy to hear that.
We immediately felt local. There's so many things you can take advantage of down here. Our son surfs. He was surfing this winter. he digs in, and we just feel that everything we enjoyed about it as kids doubles now that we're residents down
I think
here.
that's exactly right.
And just kind of lastly here, I know that you've been in locally and getting to know more people, and if you were to talk to a friend or colleague or anybody looking to move to the area about your experience working with me, how might that conversation go?
I think my conversation would be, there's really no one else to work with, because you just, you have so many resources. We've asked you, like when Steve needed PT unexpectedly, we reached out and said, oh, who would you recommend?
Yeah.
Or, we needed someone to clean the house. Like you have the connections in the network. And I guess what I would say is it's relationship based. It's listening, it's relationship based.
100%.
It's not transactional.
100%.
I really don't like transactional experiences, and this is the opposite of that. So.
And that's why we're here today, is because
Right.
we kept that relationship.
Right. Definitely.
And that's how I pride myself on my business, and you get a lot more out of it that way.
Yes. And
fulfillment.
when Matt made the recommendation initially, it's because we had gone into our relationship the same way. We've done 3 deals with him now, and he handpicked you for us, and he was right on the money. So it's been great.
No doubt, it is resource, friendship, it is a give and take, and we hugely appreciate that.
Well, I'm so happy that you've landed here and are happy with your investment, happy with all the way that you guys have settled into the community, and it's been such a great relationship getting to know you and having you as a neighbor now.
Yeah,
it's so
great.
And seeing you around town and everything. So I wanted to thank you very much for the referral and for inviting me in and showing me the great work you've done, and to more adventures this summer and to more good times.
Definitely.